live now. We're not taping yet. We're just live. So now we're all on screen now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yay.
Is there a link I can use to promote this out?
Yes.
Oop.
Please.
There are a couple. Let me paste them in the chat here.
Okay.
Let's see. So we got twitch.tv/GameThatTune. And we got Facebook.com/GameThatTune. Twitch is kind of the bigger one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use the Twitch one.
Yeah. And then our Twitter is @GameThatTune.
Right. Okay. But all right, yeah, let me go ahead and send this out to the socials while you guys get started.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're a good guy.
Let's see here. Pull up my soundboard. Here we go. Get that connected to the right doodad. Sound effect 1 and sound effect 2. There we go. So you guys can make sure you can hear this.
There it is.
I
Cool.
can.
Great. In that case,
Johnny really tries to get everything right when we have a guest.
Yeah, usually it's like
Doesn't
30
just find
minutes
out on
later.
the fly when everything fucks up halfway through the show.
I am 100% putting on airs.
Good man.
Wore
Alright,
your shirt with no stains on it too.
I took all the crap that's off my couch and shoved it right to the edge that you can't see.
Good man.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a 5 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. If you're already recording, don't worry about it. Just keep recording. Usually we do a 5 count and then start on that.
I like how you explained what a 5 count is.
Well, yeah. I don't know, man. I have no idea. To some people, that's like I may as well be saying,
Orange,
it's a
blue.
real-time operating system, right? Like it's whatever.
I'm gonna give a 5
Never
count.
know.
5, 7, 5.
Who
All right.
says numbers have to go in order?
Is everyone ready for the 5
Yes.
count and to start recording? John,
Yes.
Jesse,
Yes.
and David said yes. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune, and we are back in the house once again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
We've got the Game That Tune champion, Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got a special guest with us tonight. You've heard him on various podcasts, the P&B cast. You've heard him on Live from the Pool House, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air retrospective podcast. You've heard him popping up on the Laser Time Network. We've got TL Foster with us. TL, say hey.
Hey.
Good to have you, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, I'm extremely excited. I have definitely peeped some episodes of Game That Tune.
Yeah.
And when the opportunity came, I absolutely rushed to it. This is really cool. I love game music and I love old retro games. So this is definitely, I'm very excited to be here.
Yes. See, he knows
We're
what's
excited
going
to
on
have you.
this show. It's gonna be a blast, man. Yeah, when somebody offers you the opportunity to come on a show and listen to 3 pieces of video game music and try and guess the games based on the songs, you take that opportunity. He's a good guy. So that's what we're doing tonight. The winner at the end of the night, whoever guesses the most games, gets to pick a theme for the next episode and play some bonus tunes. And our winner last week, confusingly, was John Regan. Johnny, tell us about the theme that you picked for tonight's episode.
Yeah, well, so the Super Nintendo just turned 30, and by just I mean I think it was like 4 months ago it came out in the US.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
close
Not in this
enough.
country.
Close enough. So I thought it'd be fun to explore some Super Nintendo music. So it's all Super Nintendo games tonight.
Hell yeah. 16-bit classics. Sorry, Jesse, no Genesis. But
How do you know?
Probably rectify that. Yeah. No, I went way outside the theme. The exact opposite of the Super NES. But
So should I not have chosen a TurboGrafx 16 game, or
I did say 16-bit classics, but I also, I'm pretty sure we made it very, very clear that that we were doing Super NES because that's the thing. It's I don't know. I'd argue with the greatest console of the 16-bit generation. I'm not prepared to just start slinging hot takes before the show even gets started. But
I would say it's one of the very fine, like process wise, one of like the just like a modicum of like what the standard of gaming was in 1990, and then became like a medium system. Like a lot of late era SNES games are like okay, right? But it is a standard. The Super FX chip, like just like a standard of gaming. It's one of the best systems, definitely, of all time.
I think that would be maybe a pretty sound argument. Like I would call it a very good system. It's got a lot of very good games, a few standouts, all of which we probably featured on the show before. So yeah, that's the fun of also doing a Super Nintendo episode in your 237th episode. We're gonna be playing the B tier hits on tonight's show.
scraping the bottom of that barrel.
No. They're sleeper hits, is what they are, guys.
B tier. That's the thing. There's like 700 Super Nintendo games. We've used over 100. We're not at the bottom of the barrel just yet, but yeah.
I would think and it's something like when we think about like the big games, right? When you think of the big SNES games, there are just so many like iconic themes that even when you go into like your B tier, your lower tier, like what you would consider, they're still bops. Like they're still like really good songs. It's just that they're not played as much, right? Like not everything is the opera scene in Final Fantasy VI, but there's so many great tracks in Final Fantasy VI. Like you forget like that Dancing Mad is like just this pinnacle on top of all these other things that are happening.
Right on. That is kind of the beauty of it. Yeah, it's there's a depth to the catalog that maybe we'll explore a little bit of that tonight. I think we got some great games coming up. We got 5 fantastic games. So Johnny, I think we just got to jump into it, man. So blow out that cartridge and pop it in, and let's start game 1, man.
Game 1.
Some bops.
All right, gentlemen. So this game was released for the Super Nintendo, MS-DOS, and Sega 32X. The Super Nintendo version, which we are currently listening to, had box art drawn by comic book artist Jim Lee. All right, gentlemen. Does everyone have their guesses, answers ready? Has everyone finished Googling Jim Lee Super Nintendo?
Nah, man.
I didn't do that, but that's why my answer is going to be completely wrong, and it's bad. It's a bad choice, but I have it.
One look at the list of Sega 32X games, and I got it.
All right,
well, that's
so
a short list.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm going with mine. If you can't see it, it says Maximum Carnage.
Nice.
Probably
Nice.
wrong.
Sadly, that is incorrect. Johnny has the dreaded triple question marks. Jesse says Jim Lee's Wildcats. Sadly incorrect.
What?
John Harrington says Slam City with Scottie Pippen. God, I almost want to give you a point, but no, that's not correct. This is Blackthorn. And now my favorite part of having guests on the show, them wondering, why the hell are you playing Addams Family stuff?
Yeah, some things are better left unexplained.
So this is Blackthorn for the Super Nintendo.
I was gonna say, speaking of things that need to be explained, what the fuck is Blackthorn, David?
So I'm actually, I confess I have not played this game yet.
Well, you can now, David.
I'm looking forward to it because it was just released on... Oh, that came out in February. I thought it was coming out later. They released a Blizzard Arcade Collection.
Yeah, that literally just came out. The Blizzard Arcade Collection. I think it didn't get as big of a wide announcement because it was like at the same time I think as the Capcom Arcade Collection came out as well.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, I remember seeing it on the eShop like 2-3 weeks ago when it first came out.
Yeah, David,
Yeah.
no excuses.
Yeah.
I'll go
You
download
haven't
it right now.
speed run it yet? Jeez.
This is not the kind of game that you can speedrun
Oh.
because, and this game, it looks super cool and I really want to play it. It's what they call a cinematic platformer. It's basically, if you can imagine, a combination of the original Prince of Persia and Doom. Because it uses that like rotoscope animation where like your character moves very, very slowly and like jumps very deliberately and climbs up on ledges. Like it's that kind of a game, but you're exploring an alien world with a shotgun.
Okay,
So
man.
I see
you're
this-
like,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, you keep going.
So yeah, like the story of the game is ridiculously deep with lore about like some ancient king dividing his kingdom up amongst two sons by dying in a desert and turning into two magic stones, which he gives to them. And somehow you wind up as a mercenary kidnapped by aliens on this planet trying to rescue people. And you're just like very slowly walking through trying to like save humans that have been captured in the evil kingdom. And you just have this shotgun blasting them away. And what's cool is like you would imagine it would have some kind of a cover system or because it's so precision platform, it uses the rotoscope animation. You'd have like a dive roll or something like that, but you don't have that. Instead, like when you get into firefights with aliens, you can just kind of sidestep into the background and then kind of come back and shoot them. And then one move that I think is really cool is you're focused. It's obviously it's a 2D game and you're focused, left or right, and you're standing there holding your shotgun. So if you need to like attack anything behind you, what the guy does is he just turns his gun behind him and just shoots blindly behind his back. It's like, okay, that's badass.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet. Damn.
Yeah, I wish I could do that in Doom.
Yeah, I'm about to say this game sounds like if you would have said like this is actually an Image comic, I'd have been like, yeah, cool. That totally tracks. Sounds just like an Image comic, like written by Jim Lee. Like this is a total story of like, yep, this is my version of the Roman mythology of the creation of Rome. Like it's pretty. I don't know, it's pretty dope. I'm going to check that out. Just like on the story alone, I have to check that out.
Yeah, the main character. Shoot, I just had it. Kyle Blackthorn Vlaros. He kind of reminds me of. Oh God, I can't think of the character's name, but fucking
I'm looking at
Roddy
it right now.
Piper from They Live, like just walking
Oh,
around with like ripped off sleeves and a shotgun, just shooting at things. Like
I thought you were going to say Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Looks
That
kind
too.
of like that. Yeah, no, this looks fucking slick, man. I straight up have never heard of this though.
neither did I until I saw that trailer for that Blizzard collection. Because it's like, oh, some arcade racing game that looks cool. The Lost Vikings, like that's a cult classic, sure. And then this, like, I don't know what this is, but I want to play it. Like, especially with
was some arcade racing game rock and roll racing, David? Because that game's like a classic.
I believe so.
That's
And
not
I
just
take
some
offense.
racing game. Holy
I
hell.
take offense to that being called some arcade racing game.
Yeah.
The game with the soundtrack so good they literally had to warn Twitch streamers to stream it with the sound off to avoid getting taken down.
Yeah.
Come on, David, show some respect.
But back to
I'm
Blackburn.
just trying to like start drama on the show and make it more interesting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it looks like it's a cool game, and because it is a slower game, like you don't exactly run. That kind of gets into the combat because eventually, like you can dodge from enemy fire, but eventually the enemies can dodge too. So it becomes like you're not just running around shooting everything. Like there is an element of strategy, and you have to think as you go through. And I'm excited to play this game.
It's a cover shooter.
Except you're not really covering. It's a sidestepping shooter.
Oh,
I love picturing how that would look in like the actual world of the game. Like you're walking down a cave or a corridor, and you're coming at each other with shotguns, and then you guys just keep on stepping to the sides of each other, and it's like, wow, this is stupid, guys. Just wait, like just fight it out when standing face to face. Like
It's like when they
But-
made 3D Mortal Kombat games, and like suddenly you're throwing, the kunai from Scorpion and everything, and the other guy just steps to the side, like, oh
Dude,
fuck,
yeah.
that should have hit.
Mortal Kombat 4 changed the game, baby. Like, that was easy. Whoops. Yeah. Just that was the whole game after that. Man. So yeah, this game, it needs a sidestep and then a run button, and then maybe
And
some
maybe-
fatalities, and we're really in business.
I was gonna say, and maybe it needs Blackthorn to be in Mortal Kombat 12.
I mean, yeah.
what a
You know.
weird bit.
I mean, not how much weirder is Blackthorn than any of the other recent DLC characters for Mortal Kombat, really.
Or at least like that's like the dad Smash Bros.
That's what I'm saying. Blackthorn also kind of looks like Rambo.
How
So,
many
same
dads know who Blackthorn is?
That would be
David-
kind of an awesome flex, though, if it would be like, introducing like the new Mortal Kombat with Michael Myers and the Terminator coming back and Blackthorn. Like, wait, fucking who?
it would be such a good move on Blizzard's part to announce that they have partnered up with NetherRealm and they're going to release an exclusive DLC character for the new Mortal Kombat. Get that speculation just to a fever pitch and then announce that it's Blackthorn.
Yeah.
Now that would fucking rule.
God, because Kerrigan would be way better.
I was gonna say Kerrigan.
Fuck. Like if you're picking a Blizzard character, it's got to be fucking Kerrigan or like Thrall or some shit.
Or one
Not-
of the cars
not
from that arcade
Blackthorn.
racing game they made.
Yeah.
The only thing that would be better.
One of the rock and roll racers.
Yeah.
No, the only thing that would be better would be if it was one of the Lost Vikings, but they kept the super chibi, like cartoon art style, and he's still hacking people's limbs off.
Well, no, it could be like, remember when the Ninja Turtles were in Mortal Kombat? And no, they were in that, were they?
Killer Instinct.
They were in
Killer
Killer
Instinct,
Instinct.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they were in Injustice, which is
Damn it.
basically fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Look, they comic book characters are in all games.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
I
good.
think it was Battletoads that's in Killer Instinct.
I think
Yeah,
I
that's
legit
it,
just
yeah.
confused the Battletoads for the Ninja Turtles
Oh,
for a second.
That was the whole look. That
Huh?
was the whole point in the 80s. They were
They got
like,
you.
Exactly.
you think I had a conversation with my roommate about Biker Mice from Mars, and he was like,
Yeah.
was like, we never watched this. Like, we didn't, but we had Ninja Turtles, so like this was just rat turtles. So
Yeah.
What were they,
Dude,
the
I-
cows from Moo Mesa or something?
I
yeah,
just confused the Battletoads with the Ninja Turtles. You made some '90s ad executive so happy right now.
Mission accomplished, finally.
Fucking
y'all want
Street Sharks.
y'all want Street Sharks?
Oh,
Hell
fuck
yeah,
that
Street
show.
Sharks.
God. I almost picked Biker Mice from Mars tonight. That would have been a fantastic segue, man. I didn't watch that show either, but the game had pretty good soundtrack.
God, and
Ugh.
extreme dinosaurs.
Oh, man.
trying to think of any other like
Mummies
just
alive.
poorly marketed '90s kids television that was ripping
Oh
off. of
God, I forgot about Mummies Alive.
Samurai Pizza Cats. Am I misremembering?
Oh, I love that.
Okay,
show.
but that's like an anime.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
like
it's
that
tongue in
wasn't-
cheek.
Yeah, that it literally is just a joke thing. But I was thinking, you think that all these things happen like in a small window, but it was throughout the 90s. Like
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys of Moo Mesa is like even like mid to late 90s, not even like early. And then like there's some that like we even kind of maybe like aged out of. Like I'm thinking of the really like late 90s, early 2000s of like the live action cartoons. Like I'm thinking like Max Steel and stuff like that, where it's like still treading in that water, but it's like, what do we make this more real? What do we do here? So it's always just been weird. It's always been weird.
I love it. Yeah. I watched half an episode of fucking Like Your Mice from Mars to prepare for the show. I'm like, I can't use this, man. I can't fucking talk about this. Yeah, this show's fucked up, man.
Apparently the show they did do a reboot in the mid 2000s, and that's fine. Apparently that's
Good.
fine.
Yeah. Good for them. Anyway, so Blackthorn probably not coming back anytime soon.
I mean,
But,
it's out on the Blizzard Arcade collection.
Yeah, did you miss the whole show?
I'm just saying, yeah, but like, is the Blizzard Arcade
Probably-
Collection going to put Blackthorn back over for a new
Oh
audience?
yeah,
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say-
sure.
Probably not going to get like a reboot from it, but maybe it
Now,
should get a reboot.
Now that's a '90s cartoon worth talking about. That needs a game.
Reboot
Game
is
2.
so
No, not yet.
Damn.
I have to. David, there's a 42-minute speed run of Blackthorn, so you're wrong.
Ooh,
Cool.
damn.
Thanks, Jesse.
Game over. Game over. David's ass.
No,
right
no,
off
no,
the
game
bat.
over.
I appreciate you getting in the last word to say "fuck you." You're wrong.
I didn't say fuck you. I said you.
I don't recall saying not fuck you.
Game 2.
There it is.
All right, guys. This game is commonly Let me start that over.
This game's a communist.
This in a sense, this game is commonly attributed to being designed by Alexei Pajitnov. But despite his name and face being on the game's title screen and box art, he actually only endorsed this game and is thanked in the special credits and really had nothing to do with making it.
That's funny.
All right, guys, who's got some funky answers for me?
I was
And
vibing.
I do.
Yeah.
I was vibing. I'm gonna return the old good 3 question marks. Giving one of my own 3 question
The
marks.
big old question marks from TL. We got, let's see, Not Zoop from John. We got Clockworks from Jesse. And David has the correct answer with Breakthrough. So this is Breakthrough for the Super Nintendo, a puzzle game that really tries to make it look like that Alexei, Pajitnov, thank you. The Alexei Pajitnov had something to do with it by putting his, face on the box art and the title screen, just right there, big old Lexi. And he had
they're really pushing the Tetris thing too. It's got the Russian palace and the blocks and his face.
I was gonna say it's like the background is like a snowy Russian palace for some reason.
Because Alexei, had nothing to do with it.
But he's everyone's favorite Russian.
God,
I mean, he's easily top 10 Russians for me.
All right, David. That sounds like you have a list prepared.
Yeah.
You want to name your top 10 Russians?
I gotta say,
one,
Colossus
Boris.
better be on that fucking list.
Number 10, Nikolai Koloff. Great Russian.
Yeah.
One of the best. Number 9.
Yakov Smirnov.
I didn't actually have a bit prepared for this.
That's okay.
Omega Red.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Zangief. Best
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Hands down.
For me, Colonel Gorlukovich, Metal Gear Solid 2, pretty cool. His daughter, Olga, even cooler.
For me, Boris and Natasha, they're great Russians. I'm a big fan.
Crimson Dynamo.
I don't know why we all no-sold the reaction to Boris and Natasha. They are arguably the most famously known Russians in America.
Well, I think there's are they Russian? I thought I know they're Eastern Bloc Europeans, but I don't know if they're Russian.
That's a good question.
That would be my thing.
Yeah.
True, Johnny. We
But
got to
aren't
draw
they-
a line somewhere.
Aren't they in the KGB though?
I don't think they're officially in the KGB, but I mean, the cartoon was made in the 60s.
Is anyone
they're
officially
very
in the
obviously.
KGB? I'm pretty sure they zoned everybody that claims they're in the KGB.
All right, so Boris and Natasha. Boris Badinov. Let's see.
Oh, how did we forget Natasha Romanoff?
Yeah, they're not Russian. They're from Plotsylvania. So this is not they are not Russian operatives.
Off the list.
Can't put them on your list.
Shame, Johnny. Shame. Wow.
If we haven't hit 10 already, I'd like to put Maria Sharapova on the list.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great pick. And I was gonna say, how did we forget Natasha Romanoff? It's because of Scarlett Johansson's excellent Russian accent that she's been doing for the last 10 years or so. It just made me forget about her completely.
We are getting the Russian movie. That's whenever that movie comes out in 2025.
Honestly, I was so pumped for that fucking movie. You tell me you're doing Taskmaster even in a shitty way, and I'm there. And then it's like, this movie's not probably coming out for a long time. I'm like, motherfucker. Anyway, so Breakthrough featuring Taskmaster? No.
I was about to make that same joke.
Yeah. What is Alexei Pajitnov if not the taskmaster of puzzle game design? Really?
Yeah. So this is a puzzle game of bricks fall into place. Much like Tetris.
I was gonna say, whoa.
Unlike Tetris, it's a huge grid. It's like a 16 by 16 grid or something like that. And what you do is you punch out bricks that are touching like at least 2 other bricks, and it'll break out the whole block. So as you get rid of chunks, things fall into place to fill in the gaps, and your goal is to clear the screen. That's basically it. It's not very good. I love that the first stage. So all the stages take place around the world, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And the first stage is Berlin, and you're like basically punching out the Berlin Wall. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. But then it turns out like it's walls everywhere you go. So the whole meaning of the Berlin Wall kind of like fell, if you will.
Yeah, okay, so it wasn't so much like a cool statement on the Berlin Wall, then you go punch out other famous walls.
Yeah, like a wall in one, like
Please tell me there's a stage at the Great Wall of China.
Oh my
obviously.
God, I don't think there is.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, you should punch out
Pink Floyd's The Wall.
It's like you should punch out the Great Wall of China, and then the victory screen is just a shit ton of Mongols chasing into the country.
That
like,
would be
finally!
so good.
You in my other wrestling reference for the day, you punch out the wrestler The Wall, who is by Berlin. It's a very WCW joke. It was bad, and it should have died the house of death that it did. So
That's okay. I'm counting on Jesse to get that one.
I don't remember that guy. But
So Berlin was a guy by the name of Alex Wright. He went with a very weird, like neo-Nazi type gimmick in the late 2000s, and he would have a giant wrestler with him that was called The Wall.
Oh,
Get
boy.
it?
Awesome.
Berlin Wall.
That's
Vince
pretty good.
Russo, genius when it comes to making characters.
That's good shit. Oh man. But honestly, no, seriously, there's no Great Wall of China level in this shit. Like, oh my God, John, this game fails immediately. Like, if the whole point of the game is puzzling walls down, and they got Berlin Wall and no other famous walls, what are we doing here?
I'm looking up the soundtracks now because there's soundtrack listings. All the
the
levels
areas,
are named after that. Yeah, so you got
yeah.
There is a stage in Beijing. I don't know, but
Close enough.
I don't know my geography very well. I have no idea how close that is to the wall. I assume not very close.
Well, the wall's huge, John. A part of it runs through every bit of China. Like,
for a second, I thought you were going to say there's a level in Beijing. I don't know my geography. I don't know if Beijing is in China.
No, David, come on. No,
I thought I was getting this mixed up with Breakout.
No, Breakthrough. You break on through.
You don't break out of anything.
Or with anything. You break through things. No, so music's pretty funky. I did enjoy the music, especially that last track, which I believe was by Paul Hoog. Where is he at? Sorry, I'm pulling up the list here.
The synthesizer designer?
No. Paul Moog, M-O-G-G.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, damn, they got the designer of the Moog synthesizer to fucking do music for... Good for them.
No, yeah,
Big move.
that soundtrack's by Paul Moog, Joseph White, and I'm sorry, the last song was by Andrew Edlin, and that's the only song he did for this one, which I thought was interesting.
Damn.
And
they bricked him up in the old coke oven, and we were never heard from him again. That's what he gets for making music for Breakout. I mean, seriously, he's probably the one that had the idea to put Breakthrough. Fuck! Joke's canceled. I'm done. I'm out. I can't.
So yeah,
there's no.
Not a great game. It's very frustrating. It is. It's very easy for the bricks to not work out correctly, and and if you don't, the way you lose is by time running out. So if you hit that point where you've like fucked up, and there's nothing you can do, you just gotta wait the 10 minutes, right, until it ends. Like it takes forever.
You played this?
Briefly, yeah. I actually did rent
for 10
this.
minutes.
Got 10 minutes into it and failed.
Yeah.
And here we are. Then we started the show.
That's what he was doing last minute.
That's where he was running during the songs. He just kept running off. Is the 10 minutes up yet? I need to know what happens if I fail this wall. Jesus.
Speaking of walls, I did check. Portions of the Great Wall of China are in Beijing.
All right.
Yeah, well, good. I'm so glad these guys did their research. Yeah, they came up with the 2 famous walls.
Well, the 2 famous walls back in 1990. Like,
Right.
the Berlin
I mean-
Wall didn't last for much longer after that.
Though again, I mean, Pink Floyd's The Wall was pretty fucking famous at that point. You could have had a level just, where you punched a bunch of British school children. But
Oh my
yeah, instead
Where you
they
play
went-
as a giant set of walking hammers.
yeah, you play as a really strict school marm. Like it's yeah, I don't know, man.
No,
I'm
okay, so
just
level
spitballing
1, you
ways to
punch-
make this better.
Level 1, you punch through the Berlin Wall. Level 2 is just the Wizard of Oz. It's not
That's a
even the-
road.
It's not even the same game.
Yeah, but if you watch Wizard of Oz and listen to Pink Floyd, David, it's apparently
It starts
really good.
syncing
Yeah.
up after that.
That is Dark Side of the Moon and not the Wall.
Oh,
God damn it,
Please
John.
actually watch it and then listen to The Wall
what?
at the same time. It will make no sense, but it'll be like, huh? Yeah, I get it.
I
This
love
game
the idea.
does suck.
I love that's like, oh yeah, it's the Wizard of Oz. Like, no, you idiot, that's a road, not a wall. No, you idiot, it links up with Dark Side of the Moon. That's still not the wall.
It was
Yeah.
a good effort, John. It was a very good effort.
I mean, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
God.
Game 3.
All right, so this game, the North American version, had to replace a few monsters because one of the monsters hasn't been shown in North America yet. All right, fellas, let's see what you guys got.
Wait, I need to change my answer. I think I got it wrong.
You were so confident in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, because
A lot of fart talk in that chat.
Okay.
I got okay.
Yeah,
It's one of two things.
Okay, so David says Godzilla Monster War. That's slightly incorrect.
God damn it! It was okay.
TL, what did you write, TL?
I'm muted. I've been saying King of the Monsters the last 5 times.
Oh, King of the
Monsters.
Okay. That is incorrect. And Johnny and John with the correct answer, Super Godzilla.
Yeah, I had it on that second one. See, okay. So you'll hear when it's my turn. I did 3 different games because I read things wrong. I thought incorrectly. So it's 3 different games.
We're gonna have a medley.
Fun. That's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
TL's lightning round.
Yes, I will definitely be lightning round. So when I heard the second one, you hear Godzilla's theme, right? And I'm just like, okay, so which Godzilla game is it, right? And then it's like, so I picked King of the Monsters because again I had the poo brain, and I was like, that's probably it. So, and it wasn't. I'm doing great at this game, by the way.
That's the beauty of King of the Monsters. None of those monsters had been seen anywhere because they're made up.
Right. Right.
I had Super Godzilla down, but then the trivia tricked me because I was like, wait, I think there's only one playable character in Super Godzilla, and you're like, there are different.
Well, yeah, you fight other monsters.
Okay, see, I got confused because I thought you were talking about like other playable characters had to be replaced. It's like, oh,
no.
Well, what was that Godzilla fighting game?
There was a version of Mechagodzilla that hadn't been shown yet in America because Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 hadn't come out yet.
God, were they going that thorough? They had to change it back to a different Mechagodzilla?
Well, because I guess people would be like, well, who the fuck is this Mechagodzilla? I've never seen this guy before.
What fans do they think they had over here? That's awesome.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like the original Mechagodzilla and then like the second series Mechagodzilla are 2 different characters and have like vastly different weapons.
Yeah.
Not to American audiences, they don't. They're giant robot versions of Godzilla. That's all we knew. Like, sorry, I'm being reductive here, but I didn't know at the time or literally until this conversation that there were multiple versions of Mechagodzilla. So,
Well, yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
the Godzilla fandom. Like, there's different forms of Mechagodzilla. There's different forms of Ghidorah. There's different forms of like just everything.
There's different forms of Godzilla.
Yeah, well,
Right.
especially like so 70s Godzilla is when it gets weird. Like everyone wants to like, and rightfully so, like poo-poo the 99 movie, but like 70s Godzilla is already weird. Like Toho was in a really weird place, and it was like, oh hey, we're gonna do this tokusatsu like form of Godzilla where it's gonna team up with all these weird like villains where you get the fights like with Biclante, the plant demon, which
Yeah, he's
sucks.
in
Oh yeah.
You have Jaguar, which is one of the greatest characters.
Oh,
of
I
all
love
time.
him.
So,
Godzilla
like,
versus Megalon. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone.
people can shit on the like 90s American Godzilla, but I will take that over Minya any day. Like, fuck
Yeah.
Minya.
Yeah. It's like, look, Godzilla is it can be hokey sometimes.
Love it.
Godzuki
That's part
exists.
of the fun.
Yeah.
Godzuki.
So, or is the argument then that like every reboot, every like generation of Godzilla is its own distinct thing? So there's multiple Mechagodzillas, multiple different things. Is that what we're talking about
Yep.
here?
Pretty much.
Kind
Do
of.
they-
There's like models. It's models, right? Like, so
Okay.
I love Gundam, right? I'm a huge
Right.
fan of Gundam. But like outside of like after Double Zeta, it is just a different Gundam universe, and every
Okay.
Gundam is completely unique because that's how the series is. It's the same thing. Like each version of Mechagodzilla. Like when we get to, hey, spoilers for Kong versus Godzilla, a movie that doesn't come out until this month. There will be Mechagodzilla that will be a different form of Mechagodzilla than the ones we've seen, and it will
Into
be
it.
it will
Oh,
be
man.
like classified as a different one.
Super into it. Okay, cool. So what we're all getting at is they need to make Godzilla into the Godzilla verse.
Absolutely,
Like
I would. ugh.
with
I
the
would watch
success
that.
of Spider-Verse, let's just have all of them crossing over.
Yeah.
Godzilla
there-
meets all
Into
the
the
other
Godzilla
Godzillas.
verse.
So there
I'm
is
saying.
a Godzilla movie that is Godzilla. I think it's either End War or like
Final
something
Wars.
I was
Final
going to say,
Wars, yes,
yeah, there's
Final
Final
Wars.
Wars where
where
Godzilla fights American Godzilla and fucks him up. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
it is literally a squash match. It was just like
They just bury him. No.
Yeah.
just
Yeah, because he fights him in Australia, and like when Godzilla shows up, like American Godzilla kind of like roars and rushes at him, and he literally just uses his tail, smacks him into the Sydney Opera House, atomic breaths him, and then leaves. Like that's it.
The two moves of doom, baby.
Oh, that's so fucking awesome. Then you see Matthew Broderick on the way out, and he's just like, so this Super Godzilla though, it predated American Godzilla.
Yes.
Was it a fighting game?
No. So he has a cape and he can fly. And-
What?
No. He's not that kind of super. No. So you like walk around on this map and you can like walk through buildings and mountains and tanks and stuff, but that stuff will damage you. And you're trying to find the monster of each stage, and whenever you fight them, the fighting system is really weird. It's more like a dance because like you gotta like. You've got 2 meters going back and forth. You've got your meter and then the enemy's meter. And so you're trying to punch the other monster while your meter is high and their meter is low. So you're like walking forward and then backing up, walking forward and backing up. And then once you know you can hit them, you get up close, punch them. And then like this little box on the UI starts like changing to like it'll be like Godzilla's tail or Godzilla's fist or like fire coming out of Godzilla. And once you see the one you want, you click the button, and then Godzilla will do that move to whoever you're fighting. And usually it's a pretty cool like animation thing. Like Godzilla shoots his atomic breath, and it looks kind of like a Kamehameha coming at the monster. And then the monster's like looks all crazy and stuff. And it's kind of fun, but at the same time the enemy monsters can really fucking cheap shot you, because if they just hit you, then they can get their move in and you can't block it. And like King Ghidorah is fucking shooting 3 lightning bolts at my face
Yeah.
the whole time.
Well, I mean, that's always how it goes in the movies, man. Godzilla's got to find a way. 'Cause
Yeah.
those other monsters, they fuck him up pretty good. and
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
usually
if
finds a
there's-
way.
If there's any monster that like should be a pain in the ass to beat, it's King Ghidorah.
Hell
It's
yeah.
true.
So fucking cool.
He's a king.
With good reason. When you have 3 fucking heads and you breathe lightning, yeah, okay, cool. I'll call that guy king.
He's just a
Love it.
dragon Cerberus. Come
Yeah,
on,
doesn't
he's
even need
just a
arms.
dragon
Yeah.
Cerberus.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So passe, this dragon Cerberus.
What about Mecha King Ghidorah?
See, that's
Uh-huh,
terrifying.
There we go. That's a real
That's
real
a guy.
guy. It's like if Mecha Godzilla and then King Ghidorah did a fusion dance, thus becoming Mecha Ghidorah.
I would love to see kaiju do fusion dances.
It should
I
happen
love-
more often, quite frankly. That's probably in the Godzilla verse.
I just want to go back to the idea of John like seeing King Ghidorah, a several 100-foot triple-headed dragon breathing lightning, like, fuck it, whatever. Slap some metal plates on it, like, oh, goddamn, I'm getting out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'll do
Look,
what you
if-
say.
If we
Right.
learned anything about, again, media from when we grew up as kids, once you put chrome on something, it becomes cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
put
Rad as
chrome on
hell.
it.
Yep.
It's just chrome, badass. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. I replaced my Honda Fit's bumper with a chrome bumper. Now my Honda Fit is so badass.
Badass. It literally, they saw it and it was like, yeah, it's a Honda Fit. And then you see the chrome bumper. It's like, wait, hold on.
Mecha Honda Fit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Damn, who's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger? No, it's just John Regan.
Again, look, I'm going to use Dragon Ball Z logic.
Yes.
Frieza, like the world's evilest, like space Hitler, right? And then everyone's like, oh, he's super scary. He's this genocidal monster. What happens when he comes to Earth? Chrome.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
wait, metal Frieza, man.
He
look
also
at that.
gets chopped up into tiny pieces.
That's
Pretty
because of a time traveling asshole, but that's a
tiny-
different story.
Tiny
Shit
chrome
happens,
pieces,
man.
Jesse. Tiny chrome
Oh,
pieces.
that's true.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But and also I'll cop to it. Gold Frieza, when they bring Frieza back
Oh,
in
yeah.
again, fucking dope.
Even
So,
shinier.
Frieza.
that's
It was
probably the
dope.
next move. King Goldora, like I fucking
He's already
shit my
gold.
pants about. It.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, but make him out of actual.
No, but make
gold.
him exactly
Make him
make him
golder.
from the actual element AU gold AU.
Look closer,
Ghidorah.
Godzilla. Ah, you're the biggest
Did you get
monster in the
it?
world now.
Here,
You're
take
made of
a
solid
haircut?
gold.
take a bite out of my neck to find out if it's real gold or not. Oh, hey, it's real.
Or maybe just change King Ghidorah to like King Rose Gold Ghidorah. Just like slightly change the tint of him.
King Ghidorah versus a rose gold iPhone.
David, given your reactions to Mario Kart 8, I know you
Yeah.
would be fucking furious if like pink gold Mothra showed up at some point in these movies.
No,
you would freak
absolutely
the
not.
fuck out.
So here's what
I want baby
honestly,
King Ghidorah.
I honestly hope
Actually, it would be kind of cool to play as Baby Mothra, and it's just the fucking egg.
that in all these movies, because like a lot of people are like, oh, Kong versus Godzilla, like the trailer looks hokey and blah blah blah. No, I want you to go all in on the cheese, just like every bad anime decision from like 90s on. Do
Mhm.
it. I want like Kong versus Godzilla, and then Godzilla's about to lose, and he's like, "This isn't even my final form." And then all of a sudden, there's
Vampire
just
Hunter D
spikes
shows up.
grows out of Kong, and
Dude,
spikes
yeah.
out of fucking Godzilla. It's like
No, I think,
final
yeah,
form Godzilla.
Super Shredder Kong would also be pretty good.
Super Shredder Kong would also be good. I'm
Yeah,
just
think
saying,
about-
look. A lot of movies need just that final, just like that last kick to just bring it over the top. Just make
That's
it
probably-
silly.
That was amongst the problems of that Pacific Rim sequel. First Pacific Rim, perfectly fine, awesome, robots punching monsters movie. Second movie needed something made of gold.
They made a
Like,
sequel?
Yeah, nothing.
It's
Yeah.
not good. It's not
no.
good.
It's not great. But if there was a gold robot at the end,
If
it
there
would've
was a
been
gold
now, hold
robot,
on.
you would be in.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the dog pilot one of those machines.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Two dogs drifting in a fucking Pacific Rim robot. I'd be into that. guys, we should write movies. We got ideas here.
And then there's
I've been saying this for
time traveling
237 episodes.
God, we got to remember to write these things down.
Here's the thing: as a movie writer, someone who's written a short film, right? Hollywood, very resident for doing stuff like this. So you have to like wrap it up. It's like, hey, think about like the toy division. I know we don't have Toys R Us anymore, but people still buy toys.
Yeah,
assumingly, especially the gamers. Gamers buy toys, and
I mean, talking overhead, making toys out of solid gold, pretty cheap. The kids are gonna love them.
Think about this: how many Funko Pops can you make of a solid gold Godzilla?
Exactly. Good
Ooh.
God.
So many Funko Pops.
The heaviest Funko Pop.
I
was just thinking-
Funko Pop.
I was just thinking about like, oh yeah, there's this Game That Tune crew. They have a movie pitch. Like, all right, okay. So I just want to say, like, I know we haven't done a movie before. You're probably a little worried. We're gonna go under budget on this. Here's our pitch. We have a 90-story gold robot.
Yes. And and then Dick Boss shows up.
Dick Boss.
Yeah.
See, look, the movie just needs to be that robot. You could do it like 90 minutes of that robot dancing. That's all you need. And then it just sells itself. Like you look at the movie, you're just like, oh, wait, there's a robot for 90 minutes? What's it doing?
Right.
Dancing. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I'm
that's
gonna go
what we
on-
do. The Game That Tune movie is a 90-story golden robot dancing to game music. Mid-credit scene, Dick Boss.
Exactly.
That sets
Oh,
up
man.
the sequel.
Yeah, I'm going to go on Fiverr and see if I can buy an animation loop that we can just stretch out across a 90-minute movie of a gold robot dancing. And then, we work some tunes into it. I'm sure the rights are, easy to acquire for these songs. And then, that sets up the sequel where inevitably Dick Boss shows up. This sounds really good, guys. Man, at least as good as Super Godzilla. That's it's going to be a winner.
He still
A
needs
real
a
winner.
game.
Jesse, anything else on Super Godzilla?
I believe it needs a time traveling pie.
Ooh,
I mean,
that,
all things could use a time traveling pie.
the pie's your heart. That's the facts of the matter.
It's the heart of the film. So, like, why is Golden Godzilla here? Why? For that pie. And that's just literally it's the heart. It's what drives everyone to that. When you look at the movie and you think of the film and it reaches into your like heartstrings. That damn pie.
Yeah.
That
just
damn pie. He just wanted to slice that pie. It's really the story of America. This movie sells itself.
King Kong no longer a story of anything in America. Now Godzilla.
King Kong makes a pie.
pie.
It's all about pie. It's the American dream. It's the American ideal. Pie. It is not American Pie because
we're not making American Pie with Godzilla.
Not making American
I don't want to
watch.
Fuck that pie.
But it is a pie that transcends what the American dream and ideal is. Honestly, at the end of the movie, Godzilla grabs the pie as he with his claw digs in and drips out. It has got to be like an apple pie because it's America. Behind him, a 200-foot Garrison American flag waves as he eats the pie, and he just looks in the camera and he's just like, I love this fucking country.
And
boom, credits. There it is.
And it's playing Freebird.
Obviously, definitely has to play Freebird. Definitely has to play Freebird.
That's beautiful.
Guys, we got it.
For the record,
put it in
though,
the can.
For the record, I would absolutely watch a movie about 4 high school Godzillas trying really hard to get laid.
That's definitely
band.
in the universe. That's part of the Godzilla verse. It's the teenage Godzilla that comes through and he's really horny.
Why do you think he's so angry? He's so horny.
Johnny, move us on before Jesse starts talking about Atomic Cum.
Game 4.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry. Let me start. Do that again.
Game 4.
All right, guys. So in this sequel to the popular arcade game, it is revealed that only 3 of the original playable characters survived the events of the first game. I hope you guys are feeling great after that.
Pretty good, yeah.
I actually
Definitely.
am.
Those are some bops.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong again. I'm just going to say I've put Final Fight 2.
Oh, TL, I'm so sorry, my friend. That's sadly incorrect. Let's see. So Jesse wrote T2, the arcade game. He is sadly incorrect. Johnny clearly didn't hear me say sequel to the hit arcade game because he said King of the Monsters. And David has the correct answer. This is King of the Monsters 2.
You know,
I'm so sorry,
wow.
TL.
I feel really bad because I said King of the Monsters earlier, and look at that. I was incredibly wrong. I've played King of the Monsters 2, but I don't remember it as much, so that could be the reason why.
Yeah, I played a little bit of King of the Monsters. I did not play King of the Monsters 2, but in preparing for the show, King of the Monsters 2 had the vastly superior soundtrack, at least on the SNES. King of the Monsters arcade soundtrack is fucking awesome. King of the Monsters 2 on SNES, though, it's got some bops. So
Yeah.
that's what put this one over.
That second one with the voice sample, like,
I fucking love it.
Yo, I was like, that's a really dope, like, voice sample, and it's just like it's using that whole MIDI system in the SNES into a very interesting way.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm just like, oh, this is just perfect. I love this.
I love it. Yeah, made me think of like fucking the guy that did like the Daytona USA music. I'm like, man, if that guy hadn't been working for Sega and he had the SNES at his disposal, he probably could have created some fucking serious bops with the ability to sample shit. But anyway, yeah, it's King of the Monsters 2. So apparently after the first game, only 3 of the original monsters survived. I should say, I'm sorry. King of the Monsters was a beat 'em up starring kaiju monsters where you fight each other and knock down buildings and fight other stuff. And this is kind of like the maybe let's call it the Panic on Funkotron to King of the Monsters, Toe Jam and Earl. Like they changed it a little bit, became more like a side scroller. You had some big gross bosses, but it wasn't so much like the first game. And yeah, so you're left with only 3 characters. You're down to Super Geon, which is like the Godzilla guy, Cyber Woo, who for some reason is a mechanical gorilla, and Atomic Guy, He's no longer Astro Guy. And Astro Guy is definitely not Ultraman or Jet Jaguar. Atomic
No,
Guy.
not at all. These are these are all original characters. Do not steal.
Do not steal these characters.
These are my Sonic OCs. Please do not steal them. They will
Yeah.
all be pregnant. I don't make the rules. That's just how DeviantArt works.
Rules is rules. You know,
They will all be pregnant, but they will be
somewhere
loving.
out there.
It'll be loving. It'll be a loving thing. No, King of the Monsters, like it's one of those like weird fighting games that like I want to say this is a Data East, right? King of the Monsters is a Data East joint.
SNK.
SNK. It is an SNK joint.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But it's just like one of those weird ones because like it's kind of like a wrestling match. Like I think everyone puts it as a Godzilla clone, which like they absolutely steal monsters from Godzilla. But to me, it's very more reminiscent of what Kakenumon or like Ultimate Muscle, which was known here in the States, was like because Ultimate Muscle, Kakenumon like started off like that, where it is a Godzilla clone, right? The manga was originally a Godzilla clone.
Right.
Then they used a lot of wrestling terminology, and then they were just like, oh shit, wrestling's getting really big, and wrestling in the 80s and 90s were getting really big. So it became one of those things. And King of the Monsters just is one of those. It is literally, hey, Kakenumon wrestling, Ultimate Muscle wrestling, we're gonna make our Ultimate Muscle game. You know?
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah, without the licensing, because who would want licensing? SNK? Who would want
No, exactly. Yeah, they can't be bothered to clear this with anybody. Of course not. But yeah, I like that it's a kind of more wrestling like version of a fighting game. Like you grapple with each other, and like there's like grapple contests where you gotta like hammer on the D-pad to try and win it. You gotta like tap the button to get up when you've been knocked down. There's all fucking throws. The characters seem to taunt a lot, which is dope. Like when you do something to the other character, they're laying down, like your character automatically just starts fucking with them. I'm like, this game's good. That character gets me. Like it's pretty fucking cool. And yeah, you fight a bunch of hideous fucking bosses. And the setting, obviously it takes place on Earth. You're fighting your way across Earth in such far-flung exotic locales as American City, French City, the Grand Canyon.
Wait, the Grand Canyon. How is that different than an American city? The Grand Canyon,
Well,
also not in America.
It's not a city though.
Nope. Yeah.
I like the idea that it should be American City and American Hole.
Right. But yeah, like it shows like a spinning globe whenever you start a level, and it says American City, and the dot lands somewhere. It looks like in about Maine. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna fucking fuck up Lobster Country.
Stephen King is pissed.
Yeah, they're fighting at Stephen King's house. But yeah, and then there's and then you go to the French city and then back to the Grand Canyon because I don't know, man, these guys that's
a waste of fuel.
Odd booking, yeah. I mean, they're giant monsters; they do their thing. And then it's I'm just saying, like, why do you go to France and then go back to the Grand Canyon?
Oh, the dusty finish in the Grand Canyon.
Went to the Grand Canyon, we went to Paris, and now we're going to go fuck up Bangor.
Yeah. It's they didn't think it through or go with enough details. But the bosses are pretty fucking sweet. Like the first one, it's like, okay, and they've got Japanese versus American names. We've talked a lot about like Mega Man X bosses lately. So, which do you prefer if you're fighting a giant like cyborg frog? Huge Keel or Huge Frogger?
Huge Frogger.
Okay, cool. America gets a point. And then you got the shit. I don't even know how to describe this fucking thing. You got Hornduout or Eiffelite. Okay, that's in the French stage. Eiffelite.
It almost sounds like I fillet, so I'm picking that one.
I don't know. I kind of like Hornduout because it sounds like horn out. Like I'm just gonna whip my horn out.
Yeah, it's not that. It's like a giant monster guy with a loincloth and like a blob on his head, and you find him near the Eiffel Tower for some reason.
I am going to off.
Exactly.
I'm going to eat my brie and hit you with my steel baguettes.
God, and I'm so pissed though in watching the like playthrough of this to refresh myself for the show. It doesn't seem that you can rip the Eiffel Tower out of the ground and hit somebody with it.
No,
which is a real shame.
That's a good visual, but again, like believability. It's wrestling, right? Believability. Like, can you really grab the Eiffel Tower and then if you hit somebody, they get back up? Like, what are we really doing here?
These monsters are already over enough. Yeah, the match ends on the Eiffel Tower. Like
They're
somebody
killing
gets
the business.
knocked back like Commando style, gets impaled on the Eiffel Tower. That's how that level has to end.
Yeah, back in my day, if you hit somebody with the Eiffel Tower, they would just stay down. That's just what's believable to me. Yeah. Like all these guys now, what you hit an Eiffel Tower, you throw the Coliseum at somebody, you light somebody up with the Statue of Liberty, then they get up and the match is still going.
Yep.
Come on, that's not even believable.
Have you guys power on that ass in the Grand Canyon and they kick out in two? Come on,
Eiffel kick parties all the time.
Have you guys ever seen that wrestling clip where the two wrestlers, like, you know, one pins the other down, then suddenly the audience just starts throwing all these Eiffel Towers onto the stage?
Yeah.
You know, I told everybody back in the day, you know, when China had the great Wall of China explosion match, I was like, it's going to kill the business. Everyone's going to look at it and be like, look how fake it is. These monsters can't get over. They can't get over, not like back in the day. Godzilla, that's a monster that got over. Yeah. These guys never get over.
No. I think the Berlin Wall would stand in the way of Godzilla. He just smashed right through that shit. Yeah. He was over.
God, I would love to see Godzilla just smash through the Iron Curtain. A literal
iron curtain. They will out an iron curtain, and then Godzilla, you just hear bah, 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 bah.
It's like
Stone Cold's music where he just kicks it and it shatters.
It's like at a football game when they run through like the big paper thing, but it's an iron curtain.
I mean, that should happen. There should be a Godzilla movie where, like, the Russians try to protect themselves by closing the Iron Curtain, and Godzilla just fucks them up anyway.
And Godzilla just comes out and is like, "Oh, you thought you were going to lock me out in this Iron Curtain, eh? But no, I am the king of the monsters, Godzilla, yeah. The terrible Thunder Lizard is here to stomp through Russia, yeah."
He's fought King Ghidorah. He's fought King Kong. Now he faces his greatest enemy, communism.
It's just Rocky IV, but with Godzilla.
Yes. Ooh, if I could change, you could change. We could all change, man. Just go ahead and put it into your mind's eye. We could all change, yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, we've created some wonderful fucking movies. Arguably better than King of the Monsters 2. But yeah. I don't know.
I'm just thrown off. I thought our special guest tonight was TL. I didn't realize that our special guest was Macho Man Randy Savage. How did
I've come to talk about video games and video game music. Specifically, it's the Macho Man Randy Savage from beyond the grave. I've been channeled into this vessel that is TL, yeah. But I will tell you something. I'm thinking about the video game logic, yeah. What's a game when you always think with your mind, yeah. I love bringing it out. It's the part.
He's good. It's very good. I don't want to presume to counter it. I just want to, but I do want to call somebody Freak Show and say we got 3 minutes of playtime. But I'm not gonna presume to counter yours.
I did a charity thing earlier this year. There's like the meme going around when Spider-Man is fighting Macho Man in the cage. He's like, "Oh, who did your outfit? Your 2 eyes?" And like somebody donated, and I read the quote as Macho Man, and I was like, "Yeah, that's it. I've peaked this. Like this is done.
Yeah.
Like
well done.
I've done it."
Because I love the wholesome. Yes, Bonesaw does go home to his loving. Husband.
Bonesaw loves to go home to his husband, and that's all. You want to make it a joke, but that homophobic type of rationality, Spider-Man. Yeah, oh no, I don't play with that. Oh no, but now I'm gonna rip you apart. Oh yeah.
God. I miss that guy so much.
I listened to that night long.
I love both Bonesaw and the actual Macho Man Randy Savage. Like, I miss all of it. Yeah, God, they need to bring him back somehow.
Yes,
somehow.
Get Science on the phone. I need him back.
I need
stop everything you're doing.
I need the animated corpse of Macho Man Randy Savage to
priority 1
rise from the grave.
Seriously.
Hang on, John. Don't worry. Hang on, John. Don't worry. I got you. Yes, hello, science.
Yes, I
Bill Nye, we need your help.
was I told to go fuck myself?
No, actually, they said, yes, tell him to calm down. We're working on it. It's
Yeah.
priority number 2, right after cure cancer.
We already got him in Skyrim. He should be happy with that.
Yeah. As soon as we can figure out how to cure an exploding heart into a car accident. Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Can't
I
cure
love
that.
that.
Oh no, you can't cure that.
You
This
got
is
no-
why when I say that you don't do cocaine and drive, you don't do cocaine and drive. I'm just saying sometimes your heart can't take what the heart wants. Yeah, can't do it sometimes.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I say that all loving. I love
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
he's not bad.
that was all affectionate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, if I could do a good Stone Cold Steve Austin, I would do that all the time. But I can't.
Yeah.
I really got to work on a wrestling
tricky.
impression. I don't, everybody does a bad Macho Man. TL, you do a good Macho Man. So
Yes.
I'm going to have to find an actual
My-
fucking wrestler
so
to do like
the-
an impression of.
The first one I actually ever did was Mankind, right? Because when
Yeah.
Mick Foley does the Mankind, it's a very like you got to go into a really register and then go up, right? But like, so then I was like, okay, if I could do that, I watched a lot of Macho Man. And then I listened to a lot of Dusty Rhodes, baby. See, Daddy, it's like you just gotta keep on going and finding out what your voice is, right? It's just like a weird amalgamation of all those things. I am broken inside like Michael
Right.
Winslow, and it's all wrestler voices.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm glad
Those are the best
we're
voices.
getting to the heart of some things here tonight. So anyway, yeah, King of the Monsters 2 is cool. The only last note I had is that the final boss is fucking disgusting looking. It's like a giant blob thing that has like a fetus for a tongue. It's one of the most hideous things I've seen in the game. It looks like what's that thing from Final Fantasy with the tentacles and the teeth? Ultros?
Oh, yeah.
Ultros.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like if Ultros had like Quado from Total
Whoa.
Recall sticking out of its mouth
Oh,
as
yeah.
its tongue. It's not
Oh yeah,
pleasant.
Oh
that
god.
sounds like it sounds like a whipped ass. That's what that sounds like. It
Yeah,
sounds
like-
like it's just like someone went to sleep. It's like, what's all the nightmare monsters?
Yeah.
Oh, that put it in a game. There we
Put them
go.
together. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, they didn't clear the rights with Toho to get actual Godzilla. Like, who do you contact for like just the rights to Quado from Total Recall? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't clear Quado, so we better can't put him on the giant Schwarzenegger. Better put him on that hideous blob monster. Yeah. I already animated the fetus tongue. Gotta
Look.
put it in there.
Look, we did not get Toho in our venture. I understand that they are the number one, but I did meet this guy who has been doing a lot of mushrooms lately, and he told me some things. I'm not going to. It all sounds very dark, but what if you made a tentacle creature, but also put a human like a torso as its tongue?
Yeah, like,
Fair enough. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Mhm.
Great game, great game design.
A hideous
bet-
four-eyed blob monster with a human centipede sticking out of the mouth. Like, just make it as horrifying as possible, but a
I
little
bet
cute.
The Trauma guys could probably handle it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man,
yeah.
you should get
Ooh,
Trauma on the
definitely.
line to see if they can get like an actual like. I wonder what the rights are at this point to something like King of the Monsters. Like, this is a ripoff of something else. Can you make a movie out of this
Your
without
Trauma.
getting in trouble? Like, yeah.
If anybody can do it, Lloyd Kaufman can.
Hell yeah, man. So anyway, King of the Monsters is cool. And so we got TL's, I guess, 3-game medley coming up, right?
3-game medley, yeah. So we can guess all three. All three.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I was apparently a basic ass bitch this episode. I got games. So I got 2 games that I think you guys will get automatically without any trivia, and then one that maybe, right? But we can definitely go in. So I think we're gonna go by Travis. We're gonna go by TL1. This game is a game. What would be a good trivia for it? This is a game that was this is a sequel to a game that came out as an SNES in 93. However, it did not come out here until 2018.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's do the lightning round.
All right, so apparently that copy was off, but yeah. So, what do you guys think that game is? All right,
Yep.
Hold
we
on.
have okay.
See, I
Sorry.
love it. You're discovering
I
the fun
can't-
of video
can't-
game music
Yeah.
exporting.
Okay.
My hearing's terrible. I wrote Secret of Mana
Okay.
2.
Secret
Oh,
of Mana 2. It
shit,
is not
you're right.
Secret of Mana 2, nor is it Fire Emblem. It is technically Trials of Mana or Seiken Densetsu 3.
That's right. Fuck.
Which is like it's the Seiken Densetsu series in Japan. So this was the game that's been the golden albatross for
Yeah.
RPG collectors forever because it was never translated, right? And I think that Seiken Densetsu 3 had a couple of fan translations, but it's like Mother 3. It's a game that's never been translated.
It's the thing that made me learn how to download a translation patch on an emulator. Like,
Right.
20-something years ago. I'm like, hold on. I can get that game that I saw advertised in EGM back in like 1995. That game exists. But I have to do things? Like,
Hold on, John. I believe you meant to say it's the game that taught you how to purchase a language patch from the local gaming store.
Absolutely.
correct.
This
Right.
is definitely on your Japanese SNES. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah, but
legal.
Famicom,
Totally.
Super Famicom.
Super
Yes.
Famicom. Totally legal.
My Famicom
but
disk system.
this was
Wait.
like I said, this is a action RPG. It's one of the very first like true action RPGs. Like it's going over the Trials of Mana, obviously. Sequel. This one was very notable because it had 6 playable characters.
Ruled.
It's really, really great. The storytelling in the game is really cool because you could tie character stories together. very very transformative at the time. And it's considered like a big three, right? I know I'm using a lot of wrestling terminology, but the big three in Japanese JRPGs at the time was Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and Seiken Densetsu 3, because those are like considered like the best RPGs of all time. I did say, like I said, it did officially get a translation in 2018.
I was so fucking excited when that happened.
I bought it day one under the Mana Collection, so it did get official translation. I don't know if the gameplay of the SNES version holds up to this day, because some of the combat's a little wonky, especially having had years of actually playing like real action RPGs that we actually can move to the thing. But that's another point for me to say. Trials of Mana 2020 is a really good one of these. It really takes the heart and soul of what Seiken Densetsu 3 was and re-updates it to make it playable in a 3D space. It's a lot of fun. So if you have not tried this series, I would highly recommend Trials of Mana 2020. And if you want to play like an SNES version, again, Seiken Densetsu 2 or Secret of Mana is probably still the best one of those, because that one is just works. It just works, period.
Yep. Now, the game, I think the combat holds up somewhat if you kind of understand what you're getting into. It was already kind of moving in the direction of like the later Mana sequels that don't work quite as well. Legend of Mana is distinctly different than both of these.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like there's parts in this where you can get trapped in just like normal encounters and get tripped up. But it's a lot of fucking fun, man. And the story stuff, it's what I was expecting Octopath Traveler to do, and then that didn't do it. Like, Octopath, here's 8 characters with 8 separate stories, and they have nothing to do with one another.
Right.
Yes, it's like every time you play it, it's different stories intersecting. It's like, yeah, that's dope. Like,
right.
It's
like let's say like you have 6 main characters, and even like so each of the 6, there are 2 that are intrinsically connected. But then, like you said, like if I didn't pick Kevin on a run, there's a chance I still may run into Kevin in the world. And that's very interesting. Like, it is like things are still happening in this world, even though you're not taking a part of like a specific action, right? So I don't know. It's just a really, really great game.
The real question, though, why would you ever not pick Kevin for your team?
Because I don't know. I don't know. You're right. He is a beast man. He is a beast man. The only thing is, don't choose Charlotte, especially in the remake.
No,
like if you choose Charlotte, just turn off the volume when the speaking parts come on. Both ways, like even the Japanese, it's just really annoying.
Yeah, no, I love Square for a lot of things, but their American voice direction is not one of them. Good God.
Like everyone else is fine. Like that's the thing. Is everyone else is fine. It's just
I don't get it.
Charlotte is the worst, and it's just like I don't like. I love kids. I don't need. I'm so sweet and shit. Could you please pick me? Like I'm just like. Oh my gosh. How many hours is this game? 100 hours? Ugh.
Yeah. Is that story complete yet? Can I get that out of my party? No? Oh, crap.
No. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You want me to do how many other playthroughs with this? I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, baby talk in, characters that actually speak out loud. Not a fan. No, Go ahead and drop that hot take. No shame. All right.
Hot take.
Yes, thank you. Fucking fantastic game. I still need to play the remake.
Yes,
I gotta finish
really
it.
good, really good remake. Like I said, it really does feel like an old SNES game that's just done really well. So,
and the shopkeeper's dance.
Shopkeeper's dance, gotta have it. And I'm pumped now that they've announced the re-release of Legend of Mana, because I'm like, feel like I'm fleshing out my my Mana love that I kind of had. It was deterred by this never coming out. Like I kind of lost the Mana series for a little while there in the mid '90s, and I didn't have a PlayStation, so it's like I never got more Mana games. So now they're coming out for the Switch. I'm like, yes, take me back in time. I'm here for it. So, great pick, great fucking game.
All right, so for my second pick, this game is I think saying one part gives it'll kind of give it away. So this game
We can
only
do the trivia after if we think we need it. I mean, that's the thing.
Okay, yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Start with the song and
we will see.
how
Yeah, we'll see. We'll go ahead and play that. Let's play that.
All right.
Let's play that tune. All right, so do you guys need the trivia? I don't think you need the trivia. I think there is a very specific audio hook in the music.
I agree.
Do you guys need the trivia?
I do not.
No, I'm good.
I'm only worried you're getting cheeky with us, so yeah, I might be half wrong.
Okay, what are our picks here? All right, so Jesse, I think, and hold on, I'm trying to read all of this and I'm not doing great. So Jesse, DFD, you guys got it. It is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the beat 'em up, not the. There is a specific. There is not
Good
the
thing I
fighting
specifically wrote the fighting edition.
it is the SNES Mighty Morphin Power Rangers beat 'em up. So the trivia I was going to say is this: we only get Mighty Morphin Power Rangers if Deke didn't fumble the bag so bad. So the long and short of it is, Hi and Saban made a lot of money doing the music for Deke Entertainment. They did the music for the Mario Brothers show. They did the music for Inspector Gadget. And they ended up getting some of the music rights, and it was a weird transactional deal between France and America. And once they ended up getting the rights, they got a studio and they decided that they were going to do a thing that no one had thought of doing before, which was translating a Super Sentai show, which turned out to be gangbusters. And everybody in the world, in the world knew what Power Rangers was, right? So this is a beat 'em up. I think this is canonically the first SNES game. I think this came out before Fighters. It is not great. Not great. It is a fun game, but it is not great. The version for this is actually not the definitive version. The definitive version, this is my nod to my friend Jesse, is the Genesis version where they had one-on-one fighting. But yeah, love Power Rangers. Could not do one of these without a Power Rangers track.
I mean, yeah, the soundtrack absolutely fucking slaps.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, this was from back in the day when it didn't matter that a beat 'em up sucked, because it was like, yeah, I'm just playing Power Rangers. Like, that's good enough. That gets a rental. They got my money on that one. Turns out, it matters a little bit that the game sucks.
Yeah.
Not to 1995 me, it didn't. If it's a game that I can share with my brother, sure. Rent
Hey,
it. Done.
if it had Power Rangers, young me was all over it. I
I
still have my Power Rangers Tiger Electronics game.
Good God.
I literally remember watching because I went to go visit my cousin in Virginia Beach when they were doing the premiere episode. Because Power Rangers, for you kids out there, you don't know, that was a once a day show. It was a Monday through Friday. However, the debut was on a Saturday morning. Because like they wanted to make this big thing of it, see if it worked. Instantly, I was hooked. But I remember very distinctly having nightmares of Goldar the night before because that was the first time you saw Goldar, and like Goldar,
He's hideous.
and
Yeah.
in the premiere episode, Goldar is an intimidating force. He's not a bumbling idiot until later on.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I very distinctly remember like waking up in the middle of the night having a nightmare of like Goldar coming after me. Like after watching that, and then I was like, yeah, no, I have to watch this show. It's super great, and I have to watch this forever.
Love the idea of you like, waking up just sweating in the middle of the night. You run into your mom's room. She's like, what is it, sweet? And you're like, this guy Goldar, he's fucking awesome. Like, I was having a dream about him. Look at him. It's like,
To be fair, I was 7. I would have been 7 at the time, so
yeah.
it would have made sense not to be a little bit like scared of it.
I was just about to say, it's like, this guy Goldar, he's fucking awesome. You watch your language, young man.
Yeah. Also, I'm having complicated feelings about Rita Repulsa. Okay, well, one problem at a time.
No, so the funny thing is they don't hot up Rita. Rita gets because they cast a younger actress who looks like the original like Japanese actress for that character. But that's not until they run out of footage. Crazy thing about Power Rangers is like, and what's weird to explain to people who may have grown up with other Power Rangers, and I'm not even talking about like people who grew up with like the later seasons, even the ones who grew up in like when I was young, like when Geo and like they had the Power Rangers movie, like because they're used to seeing the suits, but what people fail to realize is like when it first debuted, that first like season, they had to do original American like actions with those suits because they had run out of Sentai footage. Like normally what they would do now is they would just like cobble together 2 Sentai shows and be like, here it is. But like they literally like, no, this is gangbusters. We don't want to change anything right now. Let's literally hire these people to do a new season. Like even the White Ranger, that suit is a very like it's from a different Sentai. It's from the Shogun Sentai series as opposed to the regular Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is why it looks completely different. But does it at the same time? It's weird. Power Rangers, like the whole Sentai, it's so fascinating thing about the history of Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's one of those foundational shows I think for everyone our age. Like
yeah.
As a kid, I definitely didn't notice anything like that. But yeah, I remember watching something a while ago where they, somebody talking about how it's like, yeah, this is like actually a different series that they like slapped together, and had to splice the footage together to make it look like they're, fighting the same thing, but they're really not. I was
like, I vaguely knew that.
Like,
yeah.
I definitely knew it was weird to see American actors like hanging out in a juice bar talking about pachinko machines. Just to justify, Sentai things fighting a giant pachinko machine. I'm like, wait, what?
But I get it. Like, it's weird. We look at the framing, but is it any weirder than like I don't know. I didn't go through high school in 1990, but is it any weirder than like everyone in Bayside going to the same fucking like 50s like hamburger spot? Like, cause like it doesn't look like any modern burger spot ever. It's like it looks like a sock hop. Like, is it any weirder? Like, that was the thing I loved about Power Rangers is it felt more 90s than like watching something like Saved by the Bell, which definitely feels like it was written by people who were in their 30s trying to relate to young people. Like
the youths,
right?
I just love that the 90s that I think everybody is nostalgic for is like sets on television shows. Like these places they hardly existed in the real world. God.
No, absolutely.
Miss that juice bar.
Miss that juice bar. Shout out to Ernie. Ernie was a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Bulk and Skull these days? How are they doing?
Apparently, Bulk actually did come back to one of the later seasons. I want to say Power Rangers Samurai. Bulk came back. Skull, not so much. Don't know
finally
why.
put Bulk over. They made him one of the Rangers.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
okay, so this is my fun fact about Power Rangers. So again, Bulk and Skull, they eat shit for like the first 2 seasons, right? And then they start like they literally one of the great things about Power Rangers, and literally they have characters that grow, right? Like even the like static Power Rangers themselves grow. I think one of the cool things is like Tommy's arc, like being someone who was in 2nd grade when that show debuted. Tommy's arc was the first time I saw a redemption arc, right? Like the Vegeta arc. But
True.
Bulk and Skull, if you go into like, so I jumped off when the kid became a Power Rangers because like I was in 5th grade and I was like, I don't believe this child can become a full adult. I can't suspend disbelief. But what happened apparently
That's what got you.
I mean, look, I'm just telling you where I stopped. But
There comes a point.
What happened in space is like throughout the series, Bulk and Skull were like they came to idolize the Power Rangers. Like, oh, they're good guys, they're doing good things, da da da. So they like actively, like as the series was going on, they would actively like, hey, we want to become police, we want to do all these things. To the point where in space, there's now a moon colony. The G-Spar is on the moon. Don't ask me how it happens, but this is a thing that just happens. But
Dope.
they're like being attacked by these creatures, and Bulk and Skull, with no powers, no way of morphing, they lead like a fucking civilian rebellion to save people, dude. Like, and that's like a great redemption arc. Like, that's dope. Like, Bulk and Skull got their win. They got their win.
Does it play that silly music that it would play every time they were on screen?
Yeah. I know I didn't play that.
Right,
It didn't do that.
Tuba dipshit theme. Oh
be great.
God, it would. It's good action music. Okay, awesome. That's way more Power Rangers talk than I was anticipating. I loved it.
Hey, I love Power Rangers.
All right.
All right.
Oh yeah, we don't have like a segue sound or something for this,
Nope.
do we?
Yeah.
I'll just play it. Here
All
we
right.
go.
Number 3. This is one that you should not need any. You shouldn't need any trivia for, but I could definitely give you some if you want it. But
All right.
roll it.
No way anybody could possibly need trivia on that one.
Shit. I know this, but like,
I was gonna say as the person who like never owned a Super Nintendo, do we have trivia for this? You're still on mute.
Okay, there we go. I'm muted. There we go. I said if anyone gets this wrong, I'm walking off because this is one of these seminal games in gaming. So again, we talked about the big three, but this was like this. So the trivia for this was a game that was considered a all-star recruitment of gaming. Three of the biggest RPG makers come together to make a game at Square. Something that had never been seen before or ever since. And it's one of my favorite games, and this is one of the greatest themes from that game.
Yep.
Can we see what the guesses are? I see Chrono Trigger. I see Chrono Trigger. I see Chrono Trigger, and I see Final Fantasy VI.
Damn it.
So that is Frog's theme from Chrono Trigger. Now,
And what a frog.
what
Oh,
a
he's the
frog!
best.
So Frog's theme to me is actually the it's one of the best like musical thematic like graces in Chrono Trigger, and because Chrono Trigger is a game of like finding your own self-worth, like it's a game about like predestination and where do you go, and then also what happens when you're trying to hide from your predestination. There's a lot of the characters go through journeys of like showing who they truly are and realizing that they were heroes all along, right? That's even like the theme of the supposed bad guy Magnus. And Frog's theme is it's like literally the accomplishment of that. It is this theme that sounds very grandiose, but underneath it, there's like a veneer of tepidness. Like if you think of like Glenn's story, this character who like is following Cyrus, and then like Cyrus dies. Like does it like it's not like a is he dead? No, Cyrus just fucking dies, and Glenn couldn't do anything. And then Glenn gets
spoilers
for a 20-year-old game, almost 30-year-old game. But then Glenn then becomes a frog, and he takes up the mantle of Cyrus. So you have people who think this is just Cyrus as a frog, but it's Glenn. But then and then you have the whole realization like halfway through the game where Glenn is like, am I good enough to be this person? Like I can fight, but am I Cyrus? Can I be this guy? And he has to learn that yes, he is that person. And this theme is the perfect like mixture of all of that. It is grandiose in its simplicity. It is simple. It is grandiosity. It is just such a perfect theme. And to me, it's the best song in the game because it's so perfect encompasses what that character is.
Mm-hmm. It's like answering the call in a theme.
Yes.
It's good. Real fucking good. More importantly, I mean, just when you encounter a frog knight and he joins your team, it's like, all right, yeah, this game was already pretty over, but like, now we're really cooking. Like this game, man. He's a frog with a sword. Come on.
You learn slurp cut. Like, I don't know what else you want. It's a move that heals and also cuts. What else do you want? What else do you want?
He's a Toriyama frog too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, when I talk about like the three, so this was of course Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, Toriyama, the art director for the Dragon Quest games, and also Dragon Ball Z. Toriyama's Toriyama, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the game designer for Dragon Quest coming together. Like this was literally pitched as, hey, we have all the best people together making a video game. And it's one of the greatest games of all time.
And turns out, yeah, they kind of nailed it.
Yeah, they really nailed it. I know a lot of people like Chrono Trigger. I mean, Chrono Cross. And there are some people who are wildly mistaken, but you can have your opinions that think Chrono Cross is a better game. It's not. Chrono Trigger is absolutely a much better game. But it's just such a great franchise. It's such a great series. It's one I actually hope they never touch.
That's that was going to be my question. Like, talking about the Trials of Mana remake, like, would they dare touch this?
The thing is, the system for Chrono Trigger is literally a perfect system.
Yeah,
and it works with those themes because the theme of that game is learning how to work together as a group learning how to work with each other. So that's the reason why those texts mean something. And it's something like I Am Setsuna, which decides like, oh, it is a cool battle system, but yeah, you don't understand why that battle system is so inherent to why that game is good. And that's where you can lose like Dillians. And if you change anything in that battle system, it doesn't work. Like I think it's something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? That works because like you were able to do something that they did in a game previously in 6, where each battle system felt differently. You're able to do that in the remake and make them feel differently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remade Chrono Trigger if you could still have that same kind of like cashish.
Yeah. No, I would say you can't. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't I hope they never presume to try, because it seems like kind of thing that somebody could be talked into at some point, and you just get the feeling you'd end up with like a good game, but also like a Chrono Trigger, current gen game with Square Enix's current American voice acting. Like they'd find a way to fuck something up. Something would get lost in the translation, or like just they botch it a little bit. Like this really doesn't need to be touched.
Hey, Chrono, I'm just a little kid. Let's go into time traveling.
My name is Flog. No!
It depends what branch of Square Enix's voice acting, because the Dragon Quest XI voice acting is pretty solid. Every single character in Chrono Trigger would have a British accent.
Right.
Regardless of nationality or anything. I can't think of her name, but the cave woman from like 10 million BC would have a posh British accent. But that might work.
Yeah, I do really fear what they're doing. But Ayla, I really Robo.
Love that Robo.
As long as you
love that Robo.
But and if they did the Final Fantasy VII remake voice acting on him, we have Robo calling people an asshole? Like
they just get John DiMaggio to voice him.
There was way more insults being hurled in Final Fantasy VII remake than I remember there being in the original game. I'm like,
you should play that. You should play the original game. They are just assholes. Like, if anything, Barrett is definitely toned down in remake as opposed to.
Damn. Okay.
In the original,
I was misremembering. Shit.
But no, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a motorcycle race like halfway through that game that you just do. You can go to a fair. The frog thing, it's not a spoiler because like the big spoiler is like in the name of the game, right? And I don't want to ruin that. If you never played Chrono Trigger, I highly recommend.
David,
I highly recommend.
I've played Chrono Trigger.
I highly recommend it. It's one of the best games I've ever. Like I said, it's my favorite game. Like the more every time I think about it, it's just like no, like this is just. It's literally a perfect game.
It's one of those like no one can really argue if you say like it's my favorite game. It's like good pick.
Yeah, like I think and
solid.
Like, so I always think like to me it's always this or Mother 3, and I think Mother 3 may be a game that impacted me more. I for sure cried playing Mother 3. You haven't played Mother 3. That last third of the game is hard and rough and not like difficult. It will make you cry and call your mom and be like, hey, are you good? Like, is everything fine? Like, but it's so emotional, right? That's such an emotional game. And that's what it's treading on. Chrono Trigger to me is just a perfect game. Like, the writing is great. The music is obviously tremendous. The battle system is obviously tremendous. It doesn't wear out its welcome. Just a really great game.
Yeah.
Really good game.
At the exact time and place that it should. Like, if it had been a couple years later, it would have been on the PlayStation, and it would have been weird polygons that didn't age particularly well.
Yep. And then I would have been
to be something off about it.
Yeah. Then I would have been like, oh, absolutely, we need a remake because like the polygons look like shit. Like I need like apparently the team over at the not Bravely Default, but the team behind we talked about it earlier. Octopath Traveler team. Yeah, apparently their idea is like we're gonna remake all this like the Square Final Fantasy like spin-offs into like these 2D HD games. I'm just like, hey, can y'all do a Vagrant Story? Like I love Vagrant Story, but that game looks like ass now, and I cannot play it. I need you to redo Vagrant Story for me.
That must be like next
That'd be
on their
cool.
list. They're going down the list of like games that need to be updated but simultaneously demade. And it's like, all right, we're up to we did like just kind of all RPGs smushed into one. Now we're going to do tactics. Maybe next is Vagrant Story. Eventually they're going to get to like Ehrgeiz. It's just they're going to go down the list and put things.
I can't believe they literally looked at Tactics Ogre. It's like, yeah, we could do another one of those. And it was just like what? Like,
sure.
It's like, and I'm like, yes, me, Tactics Ogre fan, who's been waiting for someone to remake those games, absolutely. But oh man,
yeah. Let us cling together, man. Yeah, fucking. I think it's an excellent. This has been an excellent closeout to the show. I like it. I think we might need to adopt a little medley idea every now and then, guys. Yeah. This was good. Just like a little refresher on a theme,
Yeah, that's fun.
Do some quick hits.
Yeah,
company with like 20 minutes of Power Rangers conversation.
Hey, just get a guest that has a poo brain that makes a mistake, and then they'll be super dope. But
your poo brain might have just influenced the show in a fun new way. This could be Johnny's key to staying relevant on the show.
Oh my god! Yes. I'm stealing this bit.
Hell yeah, man! What a game! What a series of games! What a way to finish the show, Johnny. I think it's time. We got to send it over to the calculated computer to see who won this one.
Calculating computer activated. Computers, beeps.
George Lucas slamming his dick in
Scoring complete. This game's winner is David Fleming.
Yep, we all saw that coming, Mr. SNES, David Fleming.
Yep.
Yep, that's me. If there's one system I know, it's the SNES.
Yes.
But really, aren't we all winners? We learned a little bit more about Toho, a little bit more about Power Rangers. Like,
truly, I think everybody is a winner this show. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I definitely won.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, look, if we're gonna count points, this is a points counting system where we count points for winners. I'm being told that's literally how we're counting them is we're counting points. So. Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Johnny, this is how you hide the fact that you didn't score any points. He's doing a great job.
We all won this episode in our own special way.
Absolutely.
Mine in the correct way, and y'all in like the heartwarming way.
Yeah. Look, I made people laugh, and I did a Macho Man impression. So really, the real winner was Randy Macho Man Savage Poffo. He was the winner. He's always the winner. Always
the champion.
My guy.
I'm going to follow up with science after the show and see how they're doing on this. We need him back.
To be fair, the only reason we have the point system is because otherwise every single episode would be won by Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's true. It's really a Macho Man
world.
Prevention
we just
system.
Live in
it. gotta keep stop ourselves from putting him over every single episode. So David, congratulations. I'm interested to know if you have a theme in mind for next week's episode.
I do have a theme in mind, and it came about with the theme for this episode and actually a lot of the things that we were talking about this episode because, it's been a long time since we had a theme that was just like one console and go. And you know what else we haven't done in a long time? One genre, and we've been doing a lot of RPG talk, so RPGs, role-playing games.
I like it.
Oh, that's what that stands for.
Rocket-propelled grenades?
No.
No. Role-playing games.
But if we choose an RPG with a rocket launcher in it, are you going to disqualify us?
No, because RPGs where you have RPGs are fucking awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
What about a rocket-propelled grenade launcher where the grenades are role-playing games?
What about...
Like they just explode with copies of Dungeons and Dragons.
What about the... I think it's Capcom versus Tatsunoko where you can play as role.
God damn it, Jesse.
Oh shit,
it's a role.
Yes.
I was gonna say, what if I created an RPG where you shoot an RPG, but then you also date the grenade from the RPG? I call it romancing the bomb. That is a working title. It's a working title.
That's
all you have to do. What
the
I've learned
title.
from Square is when you
Put it
don't
out
know
with a
the
working
name,
title.
just put working title in front of it.
Yeah. Romancing the bomb
Project,
strategy.
Project Triangle Strategy, working title.
You got to put
Rummy.
project in front of it. So Project Bomb
Pro-
Romance.
Project Romancing the Mom, working title. There we go.
Does anyone truly think that it's not going to be called Project Triangle Strategy? Like,
It
I hope
It should be.
it will be called Triangle Strategy. That
It
will be
absolutely
what the
must be.
game is
Yeah.
going to be called.
Octopath Traveler was originally Project Octopath Traveler. If you think this isn't the Simpsons boardroom scene where it's like, come up with
But
something
it also
Poochie,
works
but
as a
better
name.
than that. So,
It also works as a
Triangle
name,
Strategy?
though. Triangle Strategy is a good name. That's a good name.
Yeah.
It's silly because, like, we're looking at these things and,
And they're all squares.
maybe, yeah.
It's a game made by Square for the Switch, which has no triangle button. I love it.
it
I'm
has an
into
A that's kind of triangle shaped.
You're right, David. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. Fucking put it away, David. We know you love the letter A.
So anyway, theme for next week, RPGs.
Yeah. Fantastic theme, David. That's going to be a blast. Thank you so much, TL, for coming on the show tonight. This really has been a blast.
For sure.
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
What do you got to plug, or tell people where to find you? What do you got going on?
Well, I am unfortunately have been unleashed onto the internet, so you can find me in a number of places where I'm there being an awful person at all times. I have a video game podcast called P&B. It stands for podcast and bullshit. Because we literally just talk shit for like 2 hours. It's hosted by myself, Kayla Zoombaum, Dylan Tierney, Brendan Lundy, and Robert Beach. My best friends on the internet. We have fun. We just talk a lot of shit about video games. And then I do a show with the incredibly talented Sonia Valentine, which is a episode by episode breakdown of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air called Live from the Pool House, which has been on a small break because I started a new job and time is a flat circle. Or there's not enough time today, but
if there's ever a good enough reason to stop doing a podcast for a little while, it's getting a real job.
Yes, yes.
It's just how things go.
But yeah, we have a lot of really cool guests. Man, I want to tease them, but I don't because we have a lot of cool guests. But we also have a Patreon only show for that called Live from the Movies, where me, Sonia, and a guest of ours will watch a movie. Coming up in March, we will be joined by the Laser Times Chris Antista talking about Planet of the Apes. Him and Sonia talking about Planet of the Apes. And then in April, I will be joined by Abby Russell, formerly of Giant Bomb. We'll be watching Legally Blonde. So,
all right. Well, when you need some really unqualified guys to come talk movies, hit us up.
I love it. Well, it came because like we would get people like, hey, you want to talk about Fresh Prince? And a lot of people like the shocking thing to me is like a lot of people like I never watched Fresh Prince. Like, oh, okay, you can still come on, but I still wanted to have like episodes with my friends, and I'm like, everyone watches movies. Let's talk about movies. But I also
pretty much why this video game music show started doing movie commentaries as well.
Easy to get people on. And then I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/TurboBison, where I stream video games. I try to have a good time. I always think if you're doing anything, whether it be podcasting or gaming or anything like that, I always stress like you should have a good time. If you're not having a good time, there's no point in you doing it. So if you guys see me, like I'm not Felix or Ninja, like I'm not a screamy gamer. I don't do that. That's not me. I'm just like chill. I'm just like we're gonna chill, we're gonna kick it, and I'll do it for 2 or 3 hours, and then that's it. Right now, I'm currently playing through Paper Mario, Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door, which has some tremendous music.
Yep, it does. We refuse to play it on this show for like 200 episodes or so, just out of spite for one of our users. But yeah, it's tremendous. God, what a game. Hell yeah, man. And thank you everybody so much for listening. Thank you to our everybody checking out our patreon.com/GameThatTune. We got awesome stuff there. We got our movie commentaries. We got a movie commentary coming up tomorrow night. I don't know what's winning David's insane cult movie poll right now. We got I got something coming up.
The Super Inframan might come close, but currently Riccio Story of Ricky is leading, so
Okay, good.
probably what we're gonna watch.
Look, this is my patrons out there. Riccio, the story, it is literally a perfect film.
It's great.
It's so good. Johnny, don't watch this movie tomorrow.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yep. So we got that coming up. We got Game That Tune Gyms, where we listen to video game music from 30, 20, and 10 years ago. We've got our GTT radio stream going thanks to Patreon. We appreciate you guys checking us out there and supporting us. Special thanks to the absurd fans there on Patreon: Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Weiss, Sam L., Mork, Tasty, Grimmery, and Phoenix Tier 2121. What a fantastic group of patrons we have. We didn't get a request tonight because we had TL on the show, but we do appreciate you guys requesting. Send us an email, gamethatune@gmail.com, or hit us up in our Discord server in the request channel, or find us on Twitter at GameThatTune, or you can find me on Twitter at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find this week's winner, David Fleming, on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Hell yeah, man. So, David, take us home with bonus tunes. What do we got?
We have got the battle track from an RPG that I love very much, from a soundtrack by a composer I love very much. It's Yoko Shimomura bringing the mixed up scramble from Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Fuck yeah, man. Peace out, everybody.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Mixed up scramble. All right. Blackthorn is copyright 1994 Blizzard Entertainment. Breakthrough is copyright 1995 Artec and Spectrum Holobyte. Super Godzilla is copyright 1993 Advanced Communication Company and Toho Company Limited. King of the Monsters 2 is copyright 1994 Takara Company Limited. Trials of Mana is copyright 1995 Squaresoft. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is copyright 1994 Natsume. Chrono Trigger is copyright 1995 Squaresoft.